And salam alaikum once again, and welcome back to the Ottoman campaign in Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts. So, we have once again regained control of the entrances to the Mediterranean, which is good. But we failed the last attempt at an invasion of southern Italy, and then I had to divert my ships to take back northern Egypt, which was just a lot more important. And in the meantime, the British Army is marching north into central Italy, and I'm pretty sure they're going to take it before I can take back southern Italy. So that means I have to invade central Italy again, too. I've taken back Persia, but I'm probably going to lose it again, too. Once again, two British armies marching in from Afghanistan. Luckily, it's not very difficult to recapture Persia, because the required tonnage to take a region is based on the port capacity, and Badr Abbas is not that big of a port. And we are going to take Pakistan from them, which is going to ruin one of their invasion avenues. But Britain has a lot of problems as well. They are having rebellions. They've got a military conflict here in eastern Germany, which they're trying to send ships to, and a rebellion here in western Germany. And probably some more rebellions too around. I'm not going to look for them all. But yeah, I would like to be done with all the invasions, so I can actually go fight the British main task forces and get some proper battles fought. Because it would be nice to have a big amount of victory points before we end the war. Because that means I can pick up a lot more territory as war operations. But first, I want to take what I can take by naval invasions. Because, like, taking southern Italy, for example, as war operations, that's going to cost me 2.8 billion out of the war operations funds, which is going to be a lot. I'd rather just spend that on picking up a lot of African colonies, maybe some here. Like, it's the only way I can take places like Afghanistan and prevent them from continuously marching in and taking Persia from me. Anyway, let's march on. And they have taken central Italy. I've looked at what the nations that keep bugging me for alliances, like the Soviet Union and stuff. Soviet Union is not at war with Britain, but they are at war with I forget whom, but someone else. So if they got allied to me, I might get dragged into the war they have and get another enemy. And it's not guaranteed that they would help me out in land battles versus Britain. And like the Netherlands and whomever else it was, they've got basically nothing, so they're not going to be of any help. They're just going to be there to drag me into more wars. But anyway, we got something resembling a task force here for the British. For a change, they're not just throwing single ships at me. We got 4 light cruisers, and these are the ones that are decently fast and have a whole lot of torpedoes. And 2 of these, I guess you could call them pseudo battlecruisers. Similar to mine. Let's fight. Alright. I got plenty of battleships. I would like those light cruisers to not get close. That's where my my specialized escort cruisers come in. Destroyers and torpedo boats I don't think you will be needed. If I try to torpedo their cruisers, I'm just gonna end up getting too close with my my destroyers, and they're gonna attract torpedo launches that may go on to hit my my battleships. Actually, no. I have a plan. I just said something that gave me a plan. Those enemy light cruisers, they do not carry torpedo reloads. They've got deck launchers on both sides, but no reloads for them. So, I send in a single destroyer, just close enough to bait the torpedo launches, the enemy light cruisers will just not be anything to worry about. Now let's see when it comes to it, if I can reduce my speed down to cruising speed without this whole formation becoming something other than a formation. To the northeast. Well, Dash 8 was going the wrong way, kind of. Haven't spotted them yet. It says northeast, but I'm pretty sure it's gonna be more like north. Actually, northeast. The smoke reports are typically not that accurate. We are being spotted. There we go. I was right. Beta took a couple of opening shots. Now, of course, the funny thing would be if I could bait their torpedo launches in such a way that they end up hitting their own ships. Oh, not gonna dodge those. But they did end up hitting their own ships. Hopefully these will not continue on too far. Yeah, no. They're stopping here. Good. Yeah, nice. And they keep getting torpedo hits on their own ships. Very nice. That cost me a destroyer, but it's also very nice that they're some of these still have torpedoes. Not their DD though. Put the secondaries on it. think these are bunching up. The one in the back is not slowing down enough. No, there we go. Dropping speed. Finally. Glasgow has torpedoes still, and is in good shape. Finally scoring some hits on their cruisers. There we go. Good hits on Orlando. That was 13.5s. Wearing one main belt pen. Marmion sinks. More big hits on Orlando. Finally nailing Glasgow as well. Big hits on Dublin. I think that's the end of Orlando. Yeah, Glasgow is the one with the torpedoes. I thought for a second it was Diana. No, that one was ignored for a reason. It's getting punished now, though. Sycamore, you can have some secondaries. There you go, some flash fires in Dublin, for good measure. Send out my cruisers just to hunt them down. Big battleship guns can focus Glasgow. Just being surprisingly resilient. There we go. Sycamore goes down. I'm gonna cease fire with the battleships. You never know if they have to engage a large enemy battle fleet next turn. That's your secondaries firing. Getting decent mileage out of those 8-inch secondaries. Yeah, they've done some work. 50,000 damage out of the secondaries. It's more than you can say for the big 16 and 14-inch guns. As long as we stay outside of torpedo range, Glasgow is not a threat. These two are almost sunk already. There we go. Glasgow's gonna sink. Oh. Straight to within torpedo range there. That could have been spooky. Luckily, I think Tartar is gonna not live long enough to sink. There we go. Nice. Good job. I was mainly being, I think I was being a little bit too cocky with that destroyer. We got 2 more meetings before we can relaunch the invasions. Drake class heavy cruiser. And we are being spotted. I'm just using my battlecruiser for this. There we go. They spotted me from a long way away. Also, we got basically the same main gun range. There we go. Huge hit. Main belt pen. Engines are out. I should probably have taken a screenshot of the previous battle, but this will have to do. And I think 4th will sink from this. Yeah, 2%. 1.7. He's going down. Nice. And the last one is Dido, Archer class light cruiser. Let's see, Abdul Hamid, are you the wounded one? Abdul Hamid is the wounded one. previous encounter with the same class of light cruiser. So Yavuz Sultan Selim will be the lucky one to do this. Now, despite that enemy light cruiser being decently fast for the era, my battlecruiser is actually faster. There we are. Let's turn parallel. If they do start coming too close, I could just kite away, run. My guns do outrange their torpedoes. Or belt over pen. And we're getting some flooding, but not like huge damage hits. There we go, engine damage. That's more like it. The secondaries, you can fire AP. There we go. That's a main belt pen, and that's a kill. Right. Now the Mediterranean should once again be clear of enemy ships. Yeah, we lost central Italy. That is not good. And they're gonna keep marching on if we don't do anything about it. Oh, we're pushing them back. The Afghanistan advance is being pushed back. It was at 50 something percent. Now it's at 42. Let's bring these together again. They got 3 DDs. This force also has 3 of them. So, 1 each. That's what you get. Southern Italy. There we go. They're shrinking quite badly. Transport capacity is not shrinking too badly. That's good to know. Yeah, they're sending more ships up here to try and prevent my my invasion. But most of their tonnage is actually going. Yeah, no, we are getting a big battle in 2 turns. Huge one. So this force is going to Pakistan to prevent my invasion. While this one, which is closer, is going back up to Germany to quell the rebellion. Let's see if Germany takes eastern Denmark. That would be something. Distrustful, are you no longer rebelling? And there's this one. You got a lot of huge task forces just sitting around. We're gonna engage a light cruiser, perhaps. Or maybe this one instead, outside of Singapore. 7,000 tons. Right. Actually, no, I changed my mind again. We're taking them both. Nice. That's gonna be exciting to see where the innovation circles will pop up. If I'm lucky, again, they're gonna be so that I can be in both of them at once with the same task force. They're gonna overlap, which will free up other task forces to actually go fight. Eric Beattie replaced Bolton McKenna by Bolton McKenna. And here we go. That's a big one. Barfleur class battleship. 10 13.3 inch guns. We got a couple Queen Marys as well. And some cruisers. Yeah, this is a fight. This is a nice fight. There we go. Took some backup saves. Always nice in case game freezes and crashes and stuff. Although that hasn't really happened in a long time now. All right. Ooh, weather is not as bad as it looks. The enemy is to the north. Is no good. Waddle-off, why are you leading the formation? I'm gonna sail you two out in front. You four will have to slow down, and then you're gonna join these two. I need to organize stuff. Alright. Torpedo boats and destroyers are just in a holding pattern here. I'm slowing down these 4 battleships so Barbaros Hayreddin and Bayezid Pasha can get out in front. I don't want to have my columns led by 2 old pre-dreadnoughts. That would just be a little bit embarrassing. So, the big ones are going out in front. Ideally, Bayezid Pasha would be the very first one. But, it's fine. I do think currently my 13.5 armed Isa Salebis are probably the best ones I have, just because these have been refit up to Mark 3s. And there we go. The British battleship has been spotted. Royal Sovereign. I'm not sure if these are the same ones I've fought before. Ballistite, but also TNT-1, so probably not that unsafe. Heavy shells. Maybe unsafe. RV armor, not that thick. I don't think these are the ones I've fought before. I think these are probably older. Yeah, Mark II 13s. These are probably older. What's your main gun range there? 15 kilometers. I can outrange you. Now we're gonna drop you down a few knots as well. What is your cruising speed? 13. Barbaros Hayreddin opens up. I'd like to have these armored cruisers sailing on this side. Not be the closest ones. We've hit one ship. No damage. Feta is the only other one with the Mark III 13s here. And she's at the very back of the formation. See, holding pattern here, a little bit closer. Just so I have them nearby when I need them. But this time, I think I want to try and thin out the screen a little bit. Before I send in the destroyers. You can hear the big meaty 16-inch shells firing. Just add a cruiser. Beta, you can target Ariadne. Barbaros Hayreddin, you can target Repulse. Veteran crew. Veteran crew. Oh, there we go. Good hits already being scored. There's the enemy destroyer screen. Parts of it, at least. Yeah. 3 enemy destroyers. That means it's time. Arcadia takes big hits. These are not the Napiers that we know and not love. These are different classes. Arcadia only has 1.8 kilometer torpedoes. She is not really a threat. Ariel, 3.3. Tornado, also 3.3. I need to pick out new main gun targets because all my ships switched. Of course they did. Like this. Is not good. What's your 14? And what a laugh. .11-inch guns, not quite with the range there. Let's just finish off the destroyers. Alright, yeah. Good plan. Well, they're behaving well in formation, my ships, currently. Light cruisers here. These are not the ones with all the deck torpedoes. Carrisforth is... no, that's a different one that I haven't seen before. These armored cruisers are also not a big threat. This is an older task force through and through. What's the value of a battleship here? Sub 200 million. Okay, I need to sort of pick out targets once again for my battleships, because their actual targets were hidden by smoke. There we go. We've taken our first scratch on Barbaros Hayreddin. Now the enemy destroyers are invisible, which of course means once they pop up again, all my battleships will focus them as targets. Khalif takes a hit. Not catastrophic. Getting some big hits here. You are still focusing, and this is why I dislike the fog. It's so hard to see what your ships are actually targeting, because the HUD elements also become like difficult to see. What are you targeting? This one. That's not your target, buddy. Set your secondaries and target that cruiser. Okay, we got them all in range with the destroyers. Basically, almost. Repulse. Marlborough. Ramillies. Queen Elizabeth. Also, I forgot to turn your guns off. That's why you're firing and being spotted through the smoke. There we go, lost sight of my DDs. Brisbane sinks. Barbados Hayreddin took some hits here. But don't you worry. The enemy battle line has some nasty surprises coming in for them. I have my cruisers sail parallel but behind the battleships. As they should. Maybe I don't want to have the pre-dreadnoughts on the thumbnail. Maybe one of these. Twice. Yeah. No, that's fine. Just so you get the impression that a large engagement is taking place. Royal Sovereign takes some huge hits. Repulse also. None of them have exploded yet. I have no idea if... No, there are the torpedoes. And they are hitting things. Mostly the screens. Just running into them. Torps will soon arrive at the battleships. Ramillies will take some. Queen Elizabeth as well. There we go. Flash fire on the Royal Sovereign. She's not going to survive that. Repulse also sank. And there we go. Flash fire on Marlborough. Which is spreading. She's not going to survive that. Theseus will have to build another ship. Stop firing, stop firing. If I could build torpedo boats without guns, just so I won't have to keep remembering to turn them off, I would. Target Abu Qir. Great success. Destroyers back to a holding pattern. Cruisers have successfully repositioned behind the battleships. Battleships are successfully dealing with the enemy capital ships. Gonna have to view new targets though. Some more torpedoes are arriving. I think Caledonia will sink. Abukir is sinking. And these torpedoes will possibly hit Ramillies, Queen Elizabeth, maybe Queen Mary. Caledonia sinks due to structural damage. That torpedo hit Queen Mary. Marlborough sinks. These were not struck by torpedoes. Yeah, this is just turning into a massacre. Ramillies Queen Elizabeth sinks at the exact same moment, leaving Queen Mary the last enemy capital ship. That's ceasefire with the cruisers. You've done your job, I assume. In terms of damage done, torpedoes definitely the winner. 13-inch guns too, and the 16s actually. Considering I've got a lot more 13s than 16s, I'd say they're about even. Look at that chance to hit 87%. Big target, mostly stationary. Yeah, that helps. Main thing keeping Queen Mary alive is, I don't know, wreckage soaking up the shots. Seeing some stuff hitting the sinking Marlborough here. Yeah, we'll not be needing further torpedo strikes. It's gonna gun them down. Queen Mary being surprisingly resilient here. There we go, flash fires. And she is toast. So, carries forth. Getting focused here. And there's the DD as well. Secondary target. Tornado. Hiding in the fog the whole time. You got hit by something there. 13.5s. Yeah, 8-inch secondaries. Fairly effective. I'd like to sink the tornado before she launches torpedoes. It did launch torpedoes. At Barbaros Hayredin. Luckily, she's already in a turn. Torpedoes probably scraping the paint off the lower hull. But they missed. It was a brave attempt. Secondaries can target that one. Carries forth. Port. Excuse me. It does not carry forth much longer. Someone finally hit Achilles in the heel. 13.5 main belt pen. For let's say 10,000. Same with Mohawk. Yeah, 13.5s. Racking up the damage here. It says torpedoes have done 34,000 damage, but here it says 24,000 damage. 245,000, but here it's 340,000. Maybe this is counting torpedoes that hit ships already sunk. Possibly. And that's where the discrepancy come in. Because they didn't do much. I don't think any of them hit their own ships with torpedoes. Yeah, there we go. Very nice. Good performance all around. Bayezid Pasha with the 16s being the top for performing single ship. And of course the 13s doing very decent, both of them. Nice. That was that. Finally engaging a major British task force. And not a single transport was lost this turn. And Germany gains East Denmark. Let's see, they're pushing in here. Up to 67%. I might have to retake Persia again. We got a 100% chance to take southern Italy. Let's take central Italy as well. And hope it pops up where it did last time, so I can have all my ships in the zone. In that case, I'm gonna move this task force here. Still within the circle, but maybe also within the other circle. Let's see. That's the British, yeah, they're rebellious again. Losing that task force really hurt their pride, I think. The United States is slowly building up a navy again. Britain is building 18 more ships. I wonder what they're building. Building destroyers. Lots of them. Anyway, we're getting Mark III 12-inch guns very soon. What kind of turret mechanisms are we getting? Casemate gun barrels. Would be nice to have twin turrets on light cruisers soon. But with that, I think this episode is over. The Brits have some more big task forces sailing around. 9 battleships here. 5 there. Those are their 14s. 14 battleships. And with the 2 battlecruisers as well. Yeah, they only have 2 battlecruisers left. Nice. They've been very much reduced. But again, as always, it's the army that is the problem. Goodbye, and take care.